Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Lakers are planning to sign high-level players so they can go far next season, because the fans are eager to celebrate their 18th title. Every great player has his name linked to the Lakers, and these 4 players are considered ideal for a perfect fit with LeBron. But financially, it is not possible to sign the 4 players suggested, but 2 of them would put the Lakers in a position to win the championship. Rob Pelinka has 4 great players as targets to bring to Los Angeles. Of the 4 players suggested, Cameron Johnson and Walker Kessler, or Nick Claxton, joining the Lakers would certainly scare their Western rivals. Lakers fans deserve a great roster to celebrate another championship. After securing a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, there was strong belief that the Los Angeles Lakers could make a deep playoff run. However, those beliefs were quickly dashed as the Lakers were thoroughly outplayed by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the opening round of the NBA playoffs. With the offseason now on the horizon, the Lakers will likely turn to trade targets to try and improve the roster. During a post-game media availability session, Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka made it clear the roster needs the team has going into the offseason. The big item of business the Lakers first need to clear up is LeBron James' contract situation. Following the Lakers' playoff exit, James was non-committal in terms of what his career plans are after this season. But assuming James does end up re-signing, that would leave the Lakers with little free agent options available. There are a few relatively inexpensive options the Lakers could realistically acquire on the free agent market, but trade targets are likely going to be their major source of roster improvement. Here's a look at some of the early options the Lakers might target in offseason trades. Lakers trade for Nick Claxton. Brooklyn Nets big man Nick Claxton is a name that's been linked to the Lakers since this past season's trade deadline, and it stands to reason that he might be available this offseason. The Nets are currently in a rebuild, and one of the reasons why they failed to secure a high draft pick was due to not unloading enough of their higher-priced veterans. Claxton is coming off the first of a 4-year contract he signed with the Nets last offseason. He was reportedly available at the deadline, and there's not much reason to suggest that wouldn't still be the case in the offseason. Claxton's rim running and defense are exactly what the Lakers need. This past season, Claxton appeared in 70 games at a little over 26 minutes per game. He averaged 10.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 2.2 assists and 1.4 blocked shots. He shot 56.3% from the field. Claxton would come in and slot right away as the Lakers' starting center. In terms of what it might take to trade for him, the Lakers probably would have to put together a package of expiring contacts such as Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura and/or Maxi Kleber, and then also including one of their future first-round picks. Lakers trade for Cam Johnson. While the Lakers' most pressing need is obviously a starting caliber center, that's not their only area of weakness. Another wing player with size who is consistent on both ends of the court is another roster need for the Lakers this offseason. Cam Johnson, another Net, is a name that popped up during the trade deadline. The Nets ultimately held on to him, but he would conceivably be available again. The Lakers probably don't have the assets or salary to make this a potential blockbuster involving both Claxton and Johnson. So it's an either/or proposal. The Lakers could potentially swing a deal for another starting caliber center from a different team. So for all intents and purposes we'll assume this potential deal is Johnson only with Claxton off the table. Johnson would provide the Lakers with great size on the wing, consistent three-point shooting and tough defense on the perimeter. This past year was a breakout for him, averaging a career-best 18.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.4 assists while shooting 39% from the three-point line. A potential Johnson package would probably similar to Claxton in that it would take a combination of the Lakers' expiring contracts along with picks, one of which would need to be a future first-round pick. Lakers trade for Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler is a name that's been seemingly linked to the Lakers going back to last offseason. But there hasn't been any real indication that the Utah Jazz are inclined to trade him. Kessler is still young and developing and could essentially be a big part of the Jazz future. Kessler's skills would fit right in with the Lakers lineup. He's a lob threat, something that's a necessity playing alongside Luka Doncic. This past season, he appeared in 58 games at just about 30 minutes per game. He averaged 11.1 points, 12.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists and 2.4 blocked shots while shooting 66.3% from the field. Kessler would be one of the absolute best options on the trade market if he is indeed available. But that might not be the case. As mentioned, there's no indication the Jazz actually want to trade Kessler, let alone to the Lakers, and if they ever moved him it would take a phenomenally good offer, as per Tony Jones of The Athletic. But in the spirit of speculation, a potential package would likely need to include multiple first-round picks as well as perhaps parting with Austin Reaves, Dalton Knecht, or both. In other words, more than just expiring contracts. Lakers trade for Robert Williams III. One potential trade target for the Lakers, Portland Trail Blazers big man Robert Williams III, is a little more under the radar but for good reason. Williams hasn't exactly been the model for durability the past couple of seasons. Knee issues have limited him to a total of 61 games across the last 3 seasons. The last game he played this season was back in February. But if, and that's a big if, he's healthy, he can be a phenomenal pickup for the Lakers. What it ultimately comes down to is how much risk they're really to take. And after seeing what happened with the rescinded Mark Williams trade, it's hard to envision the Lakers going through with a similar situation. Especially considering Williams is the better player. Williams' last relatively healthy season was in 2021-22 when he suited up in 61 games for the Boston Celtics. He averaged 10.0 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 2.2 blocked shots while being named to the all-defensive second team. That's the player the Lakers would need to be getting in a trade. Because of his injury history, it's not likely that would take a massive offer to acquire him, should the Blazers look to move him. Perhaps expiring contracts and at least a first-round pick. Los Angeles Lakers GM Rob Pelinka wants to focus on the team's defensive core over the summer. The Los Angeles Lakers couldn't end their season on a high note in the 2025 playoffs. In just 5 games, the Lakers' problems were exposed by the Minnesota Timberwolves. One of their biggest problems was the lack of a true big man. After trading away Anthony Davis, the team finished the season with thin frontcourt depth, putting Jackson Hayes as their starting center. In the postseason, however, Hayes had limited exposure against the Wolves. He appeared in 4 games and averaged 7.5 minutes. The most time he spent on the floor was 9 minutes in Game 2, when the Lakers had a 94-85 win. However, head coach J.J. Redick had difficulty putting Hayes in the lineup, relying only on the team's small ball option. Heading into the offseason, this is one of the main concerns for the Lakers. Aside from the Lakers' lack of size, general manager Rob Pelinka wants to emphasize acquiring capable wing defenders. I think just solidifying our defensive core on the wings and just making sure that we have players that can defend the wing position, he said at his end-of-the-season press conference. That's an essential need, we see it playing out in the playoffs. Anytime you can upgrade your defensive core on the perimeter, I think that's gonna help. The Los Angeles Lakers want to acquire guys with quicker reflexes to offset Luka Doncic's defensive shortcomings. In addition to Doncic, Austin Reaves lacks the defensive perseverance necessary to be a dependable ball stopper. The Los Angeles Lakers formed a high-scoring Big Three after they acquired Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks. The 6'6" guard and LeBron James were already considered all-star players. But Reaves stepped up his game and was a reliable offensive weapon. The undrafted guard finished the 2024-25 NBA season, averaging 20.2 points, the first time in his career. Despite how their campaign ended in the postseason, Pelinka still believes in the star trio and what they can do on the floor. The level of confidence in Austin Reaves, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic is at an all-time high still, so no change about how we feel about those 3 guys, Pelinka said. And in terms of assessing it, we lost the series so we did not accomplish what we wanted to do, which was winning this series. But in every series, to me, it's like a game of chess. You learn, and when you get to play the game the next time you're better. Pelinka wants to see the three players together for some time, which is why he wants to surround the Los Angeles Lakers with capable role players. Rob Pelinka weakness that should terrify Lakers fans heading into the offseason. The Los Angeles Lakers season didn't end as they hoped it would after securing home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Minnesota was the underdog and wanted it more than LA. The series loss highlighted the Lakers' weaknesses, outlining the team's offseason priority list. Los Angeles received one of the biggest assists in NBA history from a conference rival when Dallas agreed to trade Luka Doncic to Hollywood. It ended the speculation about how the Lakers would approach the post-LeBron era. There wasn't a better gift that could have landed in Rob Pelinka's lap. Pelinka was given a multi-year contract extension in mid-April. He was also promoted to president of basketball operations along with his general manager title. Between hiring J.J. Redick as the new head coach and trading for Luka, Jeanie Buss felt it was appropriate to reward Pelinka. Lakers fans should feel confident entering the offseason under Pelinka's decision-making, right? One would think, but that isn't the case. His track record over the past few offseasons doesn't instill confidence in the fanbase. There are roster holes LA needs to address to reach the NBA Finals next year for the first time since 2020, and the weight of those decisions falls on Pelinka. Lakers' Rob Pelinka needs to have a strong offseason. Pelinka has made several questionable decisions in the past few years, from letting Alex Caruso walk in free agency to signing Gabe Vincent to a 3-year deal. It's not like his track record is full of bad moves. Pelinka was the force behind the Anthony Davis trade, but he can't afford to have any slip-ups this summer. Luka asked for a lob threat after he was traded to the Lakers, and Pelinka traded for Mark Williams in a deal that LA ended up voiding. Getting a center should be at the top of Pelinka's list, as everyone saw how it hurt the Lakers in the playoffs. Pelinka no longer needs to worry about whether he'll sign an extension, but he does need to worry about keeping Luka and LeBron happy. LeBron was willing to take a pay cut last offseason to help the Lakers land a big name in free agency, but that never happened. Pelinka said last Thursday that he knows LeBron will have high expectations for next season's roster and will do everything to meet them. LeBron has heard that before, though. It's on Pelinka to upgrade the roster and put LA in the best position to win another title with LeBron before he retires. He needs to let his actions do the talking. Luka Doncic, everyone on Lakers needs to get better this summer. When the Los Angeles Lakers acquired Luka Doncic, they were hoping to make a deep postseason run despite not having a roster that was formed to their new superstar. Ultimately, their weaknesses got exposed in the postseason as they were defeated by the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games in the first round. Doncic beat the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals the previous year while with the Dallas Mavericks, but he acknowledged that Anthony Edwards and company were the better team this time around after the Lakers' loss. "I mean, obviously sadness," Doncic said when asked how he was feeling coming out of the series. "I think I didn't play the way I should. I think the team didn't play the way we could. But I think congratulations to Minnesota, they played a hell of a series. They were the better team, obviously." Doncic took accountability for his poor play in the series and put it on himself and his teammates to improve this offseason to avoid it happening again. "There's obviously a lot of different things I can do, he said. "Obviously everybody has got to get better. We're gonna have a long summer and should focus on how we can improve as a team, as individuals." This is a big summer for Doncic and the Lakers as he took a lot of criticism from Dallas after the trade due to his work ethic. If Doncic truly wants to be an MVP-caliber player and NBA champion, then he must dedicate this offseason to getting his body right. Meanwhile, the Lakers have a lot of work to do to build a roster around Doncic, although Rob Pelinka said he has faith that the trio of Luka, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves can work. For Doncic to truly be at his best, he needs a center and other 3 and D players around him, which will be a big focus for LA this summer. Luka Doncic hasn't thought about potential extension with Lakers. Another aspect of this offseason will be what Luka Doncic decides about his long-term future. He becomes eligible for an extension in August and the Lakers will reportedly be willing to give him whatever contract structure he is looking for. In the aftermath of a playoff loss though, Doncic said he had not yet thought about a potential extension. "I didn't think about it yet. I've been focused on basketball, so obviously this is the time to think about everything," Doncic said.